want to shout out to Piastri because we've mentioned this many times. Luther and I are big fans of Piastri, and the past 2 seasons he's disappointed. And you fans in the comments have said, okay, this is only his 3rd season, but we wanted this from Piastri. We want him to show this side of him, this aggressive side of him. I'm going to be the number 1 driver. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to finish ahead of Norris. I'm going to show you guys how good of a rookie I was winning F3 and F2, and he had such a bright future, and I want him to show it this season. So well done to you, Piastri. As for Norris, I'll let Luther come in on this.
Lando Norris. Lando Norris nearly cost himself 18 points. That's the truth of it. He nearly cost himself 18 points because he was told about his issue of his brake pedal going long, a major issue, and could have resulted in his brakes failing. But he decided he still wanted to chase down Oscar Piastri for the win. His engineer was pretty much begging for him to stop pushing, saying, I would rather finish second than not finish at all. At that point, Lando Norris had taken down his gap to Piastri from nearly 4 seconds to under 3 seconds and was still trying to go for the win. This lack of race management, this lack of awareness that you have a whole season ahead of you and need to pick up every single point is what causes certain people to think that this guy doesn't have what it takes to become a world champion. The ability to take absolutely every single thing into account is what really separates the world champions from the very good drivers.
I was very impressed with Lando Norris's win in Australia, given the challenging wet conditions that he and the other drivers drove in. He brought it home. He won an important victory in the first race, outlining his title ambitions. This race in China, he annoyed me. Again, it was, as Luther said, game management. How is his engineer telling him multiple times in the final few laps of the race, relax, Lando, just bring it home. We would much rather it be a 1-2 finish than you having to retire, crashing out, something happened to your brake ducts where you can't brake. And then you'll see it, man, it will impact you differently when you lose this many points. And you could have just easily claimed the 18 points.
And those extra few laps where Lando was still pushing and still closing in on Oscar Piastri caused his brake issue to become worse than it actually was. And if George Russell had one more lap, he would have finished second. That's the truth of it. That's another 3 points. And Max Verstappen wouldn't have been 8 points behind him in the championship. He'd be 5 points behind him, just that much closer to him. And then if Verstappen wins the next race at Japan, which he tends to do, he goes ahead of Lando Norris. There's nothing he could do to stay behind him. In the 4th fastest car, by the way. Jesus Christ, he's so good.
I don't want to have to hear his race engineer telling him this. Why are you not understanding this, Norris? Especially after the first time when he brings it to your attention.
But those are the things that make me question Lando Norris's ability to win the championship. He's very clearly a quick driver. He's very clearly a talented driver. But holding your nerve at times when you need to, being calm and collected, listening to the pit wall when you need to. He doesn't seem to have that ability. He admitted he was nervous at the end of the race and he was getting shaky. Oscar, he just gives me more confidence. And it just took me seeing 2 races of him to get that confidence back.
One driver who impressed me and who impresses Luther, who impresses a lot of us, is Max Verstappen. The car that he is driving is not that good this season. Yet he is only 8 points behind Lando Norris in the championship so far after 2 races when he is in a much slower car. This overtake on Leclerc was special. I'm sorry, Luther. Beautiful overtake. Sent him one way, sent him the other way. Oh my God, beautiful one. So shout out to Max Verstappen, every race you never failed to impress us.
Can we all acknowledge that Max Verstappen's in the 4th fastest car on the grid right now? At best. And he is looking like an absolute demon. I understand that there are people out there that still have their doubts about Max Verstappen. I don't know what you're watching. If you're stuck in your ways, you're stuck in your ways. F1 ain't for you. Maybe get into IndyCar or something. He doesn't need the fastest car. He doesn't need the 2nd fastest car. He doesn't need the 3rd fastest car. He is going to consistently pick up points. The tire management that guy put forth today was ridiculous. He was the quickest driver on track by some significant margin at the end of the race. He is so much better than everyone. I saw someone in the comments say, oh, there's drivers like Alonso and Hamilton and on the track. And you're saying that Max Verstappen's the best driver by a mile. That's because he is. He is better than everyone. If you can't see what he's doing in that terrible Red Bull, you're choosing not to see it. He is a legendary driver. We're seeing one of the best drivers of all time. A top 3 peak in the sports' history at his best right now. enjoy it.